I think Will Howard deserves a little more credit for throwing over the middle than he does. I think he gets a bad rap as a guy that takes advantage of outbreaking routes beyond the numbers, but he's capable of really throwing dimes over the middle of the field. And to me, that was kind of the key to unlocking him during the playoff run. And I got grilled for posting this on Twitter because it's a pick. But come on, guys. Really? People say Howard is a bit of a talent merchant, and you think they're wide receivers, but having a good offensive line like this in front of him definitely helps. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I do think Howard deserves a little bit of credit for being a little flexible, for being a little creative, going through his progressions, going through his read. Yes, he has forever to do it, but then when he bails on the pocket, on the run, keeps his eyes down the field, hits that touchdown. Here's another one of those in between throws. And I think he has a lot of those on his tape where you can watch him and you can say, wow, what a great throw, what great placement. And you can also watch it and say, holy shit, that's pretty close to being a pretty disastrous throw. It's what makes the evaluation tricky. And I do think, like, you watch the technique here, I think he could probably drive his hips a little more, get a little more torque on that thing, and maybe this ball doesn't kind of flutter at the end. But the end result is that it's still a bucket. So how do you weigh these sorts of things? I think that's one of the things that make his complication evaluation. What? Again, throwing off platform, out of structure is all the rage right now. And I mean, Howard can do that. Still keep his eyes downfield, look to make a play. A lot of time, but you know what? That's a pretty smooth throw on the run. That's what people want in their quarterbacks these days. I think he checks that box. This is probably my favorite throw of his from these clips that I've pulled because it does show a little bit of drive down the field. The ball is placed perfectly. It draws the flag, but man, this could have been a touchdown right here. And you can see right here, the feet are patient, and then he just rips that thing. Look at where the ball hits in the end zone. He's not a surefire first rounder, so you got to take the bad with the good. And there are times that I feel like Howard locks on to his wide receiver. And, you know, there are a lot of those throws outside the numbers. I'm not going to say that he's completely innocent of that. It's telegraphed. The Michigan cornerback reads this. He doesn't do anything to look him off. Critical part of the field. Terrible mistake. And I do think Howard has a pretty good feel for the game. I think he's got command of that Ohio State offense, and he's capable of putting some buckets on tape. You watch this here, there's a little bit of gamesmanship, a little play action there, and then he steps up in the pocket, rips that thing right where his guy can get it. Here's another throw that's like the duality of Will Howard. Do you love this or do you hate it? Because on one hand, man, they were cooking in the playoffs. He was throwing over the middle. This thing could have been a thing of beauty. Imagine if this is the touchdown, what would have been said about Will Howard's throw here, the gutsy nature of which he throws it. But it's not. It could have been a disaster. Are you willing to live with that volatility?